Good morning. How are you? Is it? Oh, shit. It's afternoon. Sorry. Good afternoon. How are you? I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking. Oh, look at this. Is this the cutest thing you've ever seen? It's a napkin. I bought all kinds of crap at Home Goods yesterday while I was... Okay, I knew this was a mistake. I think I've told y'all before that I have strategies I use when I go shopping. One of which is do not get a cart, get the little basket, because you can only pile so much shit in the basket. And then once I can't carry it anymore, done. But that's not what I did. I'm going to tell you what I did. And I'm sure everybody's going to understand this when I say, have you ever bought something like, well, it's not usually a napkin, but, oh, I can tell you many a times have I done an entire room remodel because of picture this as a pillow. Kind of snowballs. One thing leads to another. First, I'm going to say hi. Say hi to all you, hi to all my beautiful coffee beans out there. I don't know about you, but please don't ever refer to me as a coffee bean. Yeah, no. If you want to refer to me as like, I don't know, some sexy shoes, maybe. Coffee beans? No. Y'all are people. Smart people if you're here. Okay. No wire hangers. God, I love that. I love that screen name. I love your channel too, by the way. Hey, Emmy. Headstones and headlines. Oh, she doxed her mom. Oh, well, that's her prerogative, I guess. But yeah, I definitely, those of us who have ethics and whatnot, even if we do think the bitch is a waste of space. Like, we still don't do shitty things like, you know, dox. We don't talk about family members. We don't dox family members. That's how you know when you have real integrity, when you will do the right thing where people that you cannot stand are concerned. Because when you're a grown up and you have some, morals and ethics about yourself, well, you understand that just because somebody is a bag of shit like Betty, gosh, that is an opinion, so don't try and sue me. Oh, well, go ahead, girl, but if you need my attorney's name and address, just hit me up. I'll be happy to tell you who to forward any and all correspondence to. But yeah, that's how you know when you really have integrity, because you are willing to do the right thing and extend the right thing to people who would not do and do not do the same where you are concerned. Betty, eat a bag of dicks. God, you're so gross. I can't believe I just said that. That was tacky of me. See, Betty has a way of making people come out of their normal. I'm a little stressed out. I've got a family member getting ready to go into surgery. It is not expected to be anything of note, but as you all know, it's always nerve-wracking when someone you love is in the hospital. So I'm just want to let y'all know, if for some reason I say bye and hit end, you'll have to forgive me. It'll be because I need to go to the hospital. So, but I'm sure that's not going to happen. I don't anticipate any problems, but as we all know, family comes first if you're normal. So, hi, Follow the Grain. How are you? Thank you so much. Crazy Nurse, how you doing? Hey, Fairy Dust. Heather B. Beachy, how are you, girl? Hey, Kit, nice to see you. SoFlo, Tia, hey, girl. Did I miss anybody? Oh, Stella Bella, good morning. How are you? TT, the good Tiffany. Is that like Betty with the good hair? I love that screen name. Oh, Glow with Glow, good morning. Kate the Great, how are you? None of Beeswax, good afternoon. Shit, y'all, I'm sorry. I keep saying good afternoon. No, I keep saying good morning. It's good afternoon. You guys, Lisa is not above eating when she is stressed or bored. This morning, you want to know what I had for breakfast? I had cake, and I had Ben and Jerry's vanilla ice cream with, probably half a bottle of rainbow sprinkles. I'm sure this will come as a shock, but I'm a fan of rainbow sprinkles. So yeah, I take the bottle with me, almost like the way I eat cereal. Okay. The reason I had to have cake and ice cream is because I don't have any Fruity Pebbles right now. But when I eat cereal, I, make the first bowl, pour a whole bunch of milk in there, and then each time I'm out of cereal, I just keep adding until the milk is gone. And of course, I always give Whoopi the very tail end, because Whoopi loves him some cereal milk. Oh, Emmy, I have a picture that I'm going to post on my community page of a cat I want you to see. Okay, y'all, I'm just kind of scrolling up to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Hugh Janus. I love saying your screen name. Kia, how are you? Revival, good morning. Liz, good morning. Good afternoon, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm in shambles. Hey, Kathy B, how are ya? Oh, yes, Lisa's in a little shambles this morning. Helen Highwater, good morning. Love that name so much. That's in my Hall of Fame of best screen names, along with Jane's Blonde 007, Sherlock Homie. And there's another one that I really love. Can't remember it at the moment. A Blank Slate. Good afternoon, Remy. Good afternoon. See there, I'm catching on here. Marvella. Good afternoon. Hi, Brittany. How are you? Okay, I think I'm caught up. Yes. So I've had cake and ice cream, and this is my 300th cup of coffee this morning. Oh God, you guys, we had rain last night, and there's got to be something coming to Florida because I mean I have arthritis in my hands, but oh God, I can really feel it this morning. My third on, oh, imagine that, it's on this one. back here at that whatever joint that is. Oh God, it gets so sore, it just aches, and it's bad right now. And unfortunately, this is my dominant hand. I'm sure some people wish I'd get arthritis in my mouth. Okay, so I promise we're getting to the good part in a moment. Una memento. Oh, Crazy Nurse. Oh, are there you know what? I've been hearing about something brewing in the Atlantic, but is it made it to the Gulf? Because I'm telling you, whoo, I like when I'm done here, I will go get a heating pad and I'll keep it wrapped around my hand for a little while. I probably should wear like a brace on it. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to do that because it, compression makes it feel better, and so does heat. You know what else would probably make it feel better? If I could just, punch somebody right in the nose. I'm talking out my ass, you guys. I have never been in a fight in my life. Never. No, I'm a little tiny person. Although I know there are some tiny people that can throw down, but I'm not one. Okay, so let me just consult my little list before we get to the good stuff. Okay, I went over that. We're gonna do the disclaimer. Oh, yes. Hey, Stereophonics, how you doing? I'm going to put a few pictures up on my community page when I get a moment. So yesterday I had I needed to kill about 30 minutes. 45 would have been a better bet. So, as I'm driving down the interstate, contemplating which exit I'm going to take to get, towards my neck of the woods, I was thinking to myself, okay, because there's two different exits I can take that will both get me to the same place in roughly the same amount of time. Depending on the time of the day, you can save yourself 10 to 15 minutes max. So, of course, I'm thinking in terms of, well, if I take exit 1, I'm going to go by Home Goods, and I think there's TJ Maxx, all the places. And then I thought, or I could go to exit 2 and kind of go north out of my way a bit, but then do almost like a U-E and circle to where I needed to get south while passing another store I like. So I opted with choice 1 to, and I knew I shouldn't have done. Listen, you guys, the way I deal with things that I'm trying to avoid, let's just talk about it in terms of shopping and spending money. I have these little strategies. Number 1, if I'm going to any brick and mortar store, but usually this is for the mall, I will wear shoes like this that I can only walk in so long before I literally have to throw the towel in. Like, it doesn't matter if they're giving shit away for free. When I'm done, I'm done. So there's that. When I go to other brick and mortar stores, but not really the mall, I try and use getting the little plastic basket as opposed to the shopping cart. Well, I knew when I decided to kill time, I should have just gone to my destination and sat my happy ass in the car for 30 to 45 minutes and listened to a podcast or something. But no, instead, what I opted to do was go into what I like to call the lion's den. And quite naturally, I said, oh, I'm not going to buy much. Now, listen, I am not so foolish to ever say, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not a window shopper. Like, no, I don't enjoy that. I don't partake in that. I just don't. Like, if somebody ever said, hey, let's go shopping to whatever it was, I don't give a damn where it is. I will find something. Listen, you could take me to a plus size store and I would find something that, oh, I could put a belt with that. And I could just tie put a hair pony here. Yeah, no, this girl does not window shop. So I thought, okay, I'm not going to buy much. And really, I didn't, in terms of what I typically do when I go to Home Goods, especially in light of the fact that I haven't been to Home Goods I've been being so good, you guys. That is another plus side of YouTube for me. It keeps me out of the mall. It keeps me from shopping. It really does. I mean, I buy slightly more online than I used to, but Girl Scout, this is kind of like my support group for Shoppers Anonymous. So I thought about taking the little plastic basket, and then I was like, oh, fuck that. Girl, commit. You're here. I'm all in. Hey, Finn Curry, how you doing? You guys, do you know what I saw yesterday walking into that Home Goods? I've never seen this before. I'm assuming it's brand new on the market. You know how, like, when you buy something that's heavy or big, you can pull up to the Home Goods in the front and they'll, help you get it in your car? A convertible. It was either a Range Rover or a Land Rover. It was one of the Rovers. I'm not sure which one. It was beautiful. It looked, and I swear to you, it just looked like an SUV with bigger than their crossover, the smaller one, but it just looked like their SUV with no top. It was a really pretty car. So of course I came home and told my husband. He looked at me like, honey, don't go there. You know my stance on Rovers. Yeah, that's a car that it's more for form than function. If you lease, that's the only way to get one is if you're going to lease it, because they are notorious for being, albeit stunning interiors. Range Rover makes one of the prettiest car interiors. Jag also has a gorgeous interior. Interestingly enough, also another car not known for their, let's just say, reliability. Hey, K-Mash, how are you? Hey, Nonsense, how you doing, girl? Oh, Nonsense, are you busy these last few days with the Marvon and Dre insanity? I don't follow that, but I know you are very much entrenched in that. So, girl, I know you're busy. So yes, I look at the lovely convertible Rover. I'm throwing all caution to the wind by that point. I'm like, screw that little plastic basket. I'm getting the cart. And I thought, well, I could get the double decker cart. You know, that little, like, what the hell is that thing about? That is pointless. It's two little baskets, like a double decker shopping cart, but the baskets are small. Hold on one moment, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to send a text message and I will be right back at it. If I thought I could talk and type at the same time, I would. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, that little double decker shopping cart thing. I don't know what the hell that is. Besides being a giant waste of time. So I got the big cart and, well, I'm not going to say a napkin is turning into an office remodel. I promise I am getting somewhere with this ram. This is the preamble to the. Yes. I bought a pillow. They only had one. So I bought that. And then when I came home, I called my sister-in-law who has a Home Goods conveniently right next to her office. And it's a much bigger one. So goodness, she went in there and found me 8 more of those pillows. So I'm changing up the living room. That's the beauty of a white couch. You can make everything change just with throw pillows. Hey, Queen Bee, how you doing, girl? So I did that, and I think I've told you guys before. I have in my house, I have 3 cats, and they have I call it the cat bath. It's their bathroom. It's where I keep. There's a big walk-in shower in there that nobody uses. It's 2 of us in this house. We don't need that bathroom. So that's where I put their litter box. And, then there's the sink and the toilet and a linen closet. But in that bathroom, I have over time, every time I see a really cute cat picture, usually at Home Goods or TJ Maxx, one of those places, I have really, let's just say, I've really dedicated myself to the theme. And yesterday, I found 4 of the most amazing cat pictures that are. I'm going to put them. Well, I'm trying to get a dupe of one because the one I want in the bathroom, but I want the same one in my office. So working on that, but it got me to go. I went to go look for something and I found all of these curtain panels that I had. Oh God, my husband, like, he gets the vapors when he even sees these curtain panels. Because this was one of those things where, oh, Laura Lee, it's a floral. It's a pastel floral. I'll take a picture of it when it's all done. But as I was looking for something for my office, I went into the guest room, which it looks like a damn storage unit. I mean, it's a never-ending process. But I thought, you know what? I want to put those curtains up in my office. About a year ago, well, no, it's probably about 2 years. I had the whole house painted and went with this gorgeous, like, it's really like a tinted white. Think of like of a beautiful, like, white with just, if you dropped a big old dollop of the palest lavender you can imagine. It's gorgeous. But it caused, when we did that, I was like, I don't like, this furniture doesn't match. The art doesn't match. So it's been a process. Like, just painting the house led to, well, not as much new furniture as I would like, but you know, we that's a process too. But at least half of the furniture was I just bought new shit. Because see, I don't buy things on credit. We pay for things. We don't carry credit card balances and whatnot. So sometimes that means, you know, you can't have an entire house full of new furniture, you know, like that. So I thought to myself, you know, I think I have some curtain panels that I want to put in my office. Yeah, I do. Because when the house was redone, all the paint, and I said, oh God, I don't like any of these window treatments. I went on a mission to find the perfect fabric because I wanted custom drapes. Well, I found the fabric, even on sale. It was obscenely priced because it's designer fabric, not a designer anybody's ever heard of. Well, not as far as clothing goes, but in home decor, I mean, it's a well-known name. I didn't give a shit about that. I liked the print. So I get all these curtain panels made. And y'all, I'm talking, these are not short curtain panels. They are, I don't know, 8 or 10 feet, because I wanted them to puddle at the, you know, at the bottom of the floor. Let's just say that I ended up with about 25 of these panels that, when they were put up, I looked, it was one of those things where the guy's doing it and I'm looking at my husband and he's looking at me and I'm looking at him and I'm going, oh, well, you know, maybe let's just put them all up and, you know, maybe it's going to grow on us, because we didn't like the way they looked. It just, what I had pictured in my head is not what turned out. And then, of course, my husband's like, I think we should scrap all that shit and just do plantation shutters, which I love those. But I was like, what am I going to do with these curtain panels? Because this was not something where I was going to just donate them or ditch them. So I kept them and I put them in my office and I like them. I'm going to take a picture of them. But all of this came from buying a damn picture of a cat and a pillow. So, you know, it's a process. It's never ending. Okay, so I guess it's time to get to the shit show. All right, first I've got Betty's video queued up from, I think it's yesterday. Let me see. It's called What's Going On in Brian Koberger's World. Bitch, why don't you worry about what's going on in your own fucking shitty world? Oh, y'all. Oh, God. Hey, Platform Boots. How are you? Beer Can, how are you doing? Oh, Remy, you know what? I can tell you that when I got rid of almost all of my dark, heavy furniture and went with white, and I got to tell you, at first, I'm not even going to tell you guys the crazy shit I did to, let's just say, protect the couch from animals. But I bought one of those cloud sectionals, and I have to tell you, it is going on year and a half, and that couch is still snowy white. I mean, I try and be really careful with it, and but I tell you what, it's all slip covered, so you can take the the outside off. Of course, you can't do that for the base of the couch, but Mr. Clean Magic erasers work like a dream on that couch. And I'll tell you what, we debated back and forth before doing this. And it just so happened to be that my sister-in-law ordered it first. So and this was great. I was able to go to her house and sit on hers and, feel it, because when you go to a down-filled sofa from a, like a foam-based cushion, it's different, and it is a lot of work keeping it, you got to fluff it up all the time. But no, it's not a Love Sack SoFlo. It's the Cloud from Restoration Hardware. It was all the rage a few years ago. People were, all the influencers were talking about it. But it really, I tell you what, I have to say, I didn't think it was going to be possible to have a white couch that would stay white for any length of time, because I have animals. And you try keeping a cat off of the couch, okay? Good luck. Oh, my goodness. Are your ears burning? I swear to you, I just looked out my office door, and the mother of the three, she was speed walking in here and looking at me like, are you talking about me, bitch? I hear you. I was telling them what a good little cat you are. But it's really, it has been really durable, shockingly so. But hi, Ellie, how are you? Okay, I'm going to read this little copyright disclaimer, and then we're going to get this shit show started. I figure we'd talk about something fun before we talk about all the gross stuff. Honestly, I just can't imagine being this level of miserable. She is a miserable bitch. Betty, you're a miserable bitch. Okay? And like, are you miserable because, which came first, the chicken or the miserable egg? Are you miserable because you're alone? Are you alone because you're miserable? I would say a little bit of both. Hey, Audacity, how you doing? Oh, yes, you are just in time. You missed all the boring shit about shopping and curtains and copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. My God, I wish I knew why I always got caught up on that part. It's the I need to go in and just tweak that, because the wording to me is awkward, and it always makes me stumble on it when I read it, because it's, to me, not written that well. All right, so first we are going to watch The Legend in Her Own Mind and no one else's. Yes, Full Scorn Betty opining on, give me one sec. I just want to look at, I have a couple notes. Oh, as for the actual lawsuit, a little bird sent it to me, and thank you for that, little bird. Oh, Remy, chef skills. Can you come up with new uses to make Fruity Pebbles incorporated into oh, honestly, that for somebody who, like, back when I was younger and I really enjoyed like meals, I would have loved to have had a chef. Not please, not every, I'm not talking like as a regular fixture, but just like maybe somebody who once a week or once every 2 weeks could do some like pre-made meals that you could then freeze and, eat during the week. Oh, hold on, y'all. This I need to look at. Give me 1 second. There's a possibility that I'm going to need to give me just 1 second. I'm just waiting for the response. All right, this thing is queued up, ready to go. There may be a slight change of plans as far as the hospital situation that's going on. All right, well, I know that the minute I start this, I'm going to end up having to stop it, which is why I'm trying to hold off for a minute. Hey Zen, how are you? Oh, thank you, nonsense. That is lately I've been using 3 palettes. The base color is Huda Lilac palette. The middle is Anastasia Beverly Hills, and the inner eye and the outer bottom lid corners is 2 things. Anastasia, another dark. Sorry, give me 1 second. Anastasia, and then over that I put Pat McGrath and Pat McGrath in the middle. It's the eyeshadow that takes the longest time whenever I put my war paint on. Hey, Tay Kelly, how you doing? What are you doing? The cat is scratching my wood floor, which is weird because there's nothing there. I don't know what. Bitchy, what are you doing, Mama? Bitchy, what is that? That is so weird. I see something on the floor there, but I don't know what that is she's doing. Hold on a minute, please. Good Lord. This is shambles. Honey, what are you doing? What's going on, Mama? Oh, I see. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You're a good girl. That's a good girl. That was weird. It was like a little bit of a hairball. Oy, oy, oy. Cats are funny. Yeah, there was just like a little, like that long. And it was almost the same color as the floor, so I couldn't really see it until I got over there. Okay. What? Is there a body hidden? Oh, I know what you guys are talking about. Stereophonics, Betty's ghost. Oh, one of your cats was stuck in the attic? What? What the hell's a wood sprite? Oh my God, I'm learning so much. Oh, okay, TT, your cat does that too. It's weird. It's so crazy how their instinct is to. Do you know why cats do that? I asked my husband one time, I said, how is it that a cat just, because anybody who's ever had a cat or a family member with a cat, you know that, like, they just know. Hey, London girl, how are you? Cats just know. From all you have to do is show them the box and they know what to do. And my husband said that's because that is a trait that it's just like, evolution kind of thing. They do it because out in the wild they know that, when they poop, they have to bury it so that predators cannot find them that way. I tell you, my husband, he is honest to God, one of the smartest. Well, I know another one who's pretty smart, but he is absolutely one of the smartest men I've ever known. And he knows a lot about a lot. Hey, Earth, how you doing, girl? I had no idea that's why cats know how to use a litter box without a tutorial. Okay, we're just going to, I'm going to get Betty pulled up here. And if I've got to stop, I've got to stop. And for anybody that just came in, I've got a family member in the hospital. I'm waiting to see how we're going to proceed forward here. So if I have to quickly leave without the usual, thank yous, etc., that's why. Okay. All right. Oh, oh, that's right. I forgot you've got Great Danes Audacity. I didn't know Voices. Voices from the Voiceless. I heard her talking last night about her Great Dane who was having a meltdown from a storm. I didn't know she had a Great Dane. Isn't it interesting that they're such gentle dogs, yet they're so big? Okay, let's get this shit show started, shall we? All right. I've got it queued up at 3 minutes, 53 seconds. She's going to start her whiny, bullshit at about 4:20, 4:30. Share screen. Do that. All righty.
Breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, happy Manic Monday to all you beautiful people out there on YouTube.
What? Betty,
a bunch of exciting stuff going on.
Betty, if only you actually even remotely resembled the highly filtered and Klieg lighted Betty. Oh gosh, that's so nice how it just blurs out like all those craters in her face. Do you know one time I heard her say something to the effect of, you don't get a face that looks like this if you haven't been in a lot of fights or been through a lot of something or other. Yeah, no shit. Thanks for stating the obvious. Yeah, y'all, that all her complexion, I always say Betty could start a skincare line, and all it's going to consist of is an ice pick and a cotton ball with a bottle of witch hazel. That all of the pitted, whoa, that is not, at least if you believe, what she said at one time, that's not like acne scarring. That is the result of, a bitch who clearly didn't just start her asshole career when she got to YouTube. She very proudly tells you she's been in a lot of fights, etc. Yeah, SoFlo, I would definitely agree with that. Literally, Davis fam. Oh, yep, I would not. Oh, blank screen. Hello, welcome. Okay. Yeah, I can go with all of the above. I just want to make sure that nobody thinks that as much of a bitch as some may think I am, and hey, I can be, but I would never make fun of anyone and their appearance for something that they could not help and had no control over. Okay, so I just want to make sure that is understood.
A couple things that I am going to address,
wait a minute.
and then once I
just have a question. Does anybody know, did she do this stream first thing in the morning like she typically does? And if so, why in the hell does she have sunglasses on the top of her head? Bitch, go to Walgreens, buy a damn headband. Listen, I do this, but these are cheaters, and it's because I need to take them on, off. Who the fuck wears sunglasses as a headband at 7 a.m? I don't know what time she uploaded this, but I mean, I am going to give the bitch high marks for at least not appearing in some dirty sweat. Well, no, not a sweatshirt, a t-shirt. I'll give her high marks for that. Oh, you know what? I'm going to say something nice. I think that color looks nice on her. So look at that. I've given her a compliment. Oh, literally Davis fam. You could be right. To hide her thinning and receding hairline. That 7:30 in the morning. Bitch, unless you're live streaming from the beach, which I'm gonna take the your green screen bull scorn Betty logo as an indication that you are not. Go buy, or even these, Betty, could you come off of, ask your subs. I think they buy everything else you want. Ask them to buy you a pair of cheaters. Now I got these in Anthropology, and I think they were about $60, which we know you're not going to spend $60. Well, not even somebody else's money, but go to Walgreens, go to CVS, go anywhere, go to Walmart, get a pair of readers, because you look like a damn tool more than you usually do at 7:30 in the morning with sunglasses on your head. Oh, and of course you got your ever-present hula hoops on. Betty, who knew that a woman who, I believe what I said this morning was your average middle school boy has more fashion sense? I stand by that. But who knew she'd be such a fan of the accessories? Girl, go get a pair of hoops that, let's just call them your morning hoops. And maybe just like that size, so that, oh God, I just can't. Oh, literally, Davis fam. You know what? Now that you say it, I don't watch this wretched bitch. The only time I ever see her is the clips and when I'm doing something like this where I have to pull her up. Hey, Professor Kate, how you doing? Oh, yes, she does. She goes to amazing lengths not to take responsibility for herself. Yes, it seems to be a pattern in her shitty life. As listen, you do not get the impressive criminal and civil docket history that this train wreck has without very much going to great lengths to not take responsibility for anything you say or do. Hey, good Nanya, how you doing? Stargazer mom, how are you? A dirt merchant? Cleaning her office for 6 months. Yeah, it's like, God, bitch, just call Mary Maids. I mean, they'll get it done much quicker. But yes, the fake Gucci glasses. I mean, I don't know for sure that they were fake, but I do know she's a cheap bitch, and she would never spend that kind of money. And I hope to God she didn't, because they looked ridiculous on her. Not just because she's got a big face that, you know, when you then take something that is the size of, you know, a coffee cup saucer and attach that to your face, you look even bigger. But I can't be the only one who sees the utter absurdity in a woman that looks like her putting on a pair of Gucci sunglasses. I mean, it's one of those things that's like, why bother? But to answer your question, yes, I have noticed, at least when I've seen the various clips, that she hasn't been wearing those. I know she doesn't listen to anything any of us say, so it could not be that she heard, oh, I don't know, everybody on YouTube dragging her for them, so she decided to throw them in the garbage can. No, it couldn't be that.
Address them. We're not going to really address them again. As many of you know,
she is so full of shit. She is going to address this over and over and over. And you know why, in my opinion? What do they call that? A dry bag? Yeah, I don't wet bag, dry bag, e-bag. No, I don't do any of that. But in case anyone didn't hear my thoughts on said lawsuit, which I promise you all, I am going to go through this thing with a highlighter. And I'm already working on it in my mind. I'm going to do a color-coded, highlighted hard copy that I will then, I'm not going to, well, here's my color code. So we're going to use one color, maybe pink, for grammatical and or spelling errors usage as well. We'll use another color for my, let's just say, legalese, incorrectly used terms, maybe we'll call it, etc. And there was another one I had thought of, but basically that's what I'm going to do. Unlike Betty, I do not pretend to be a lawyer. Not on YouTube, not anywhere. I don't play one on TV. I did work as a paralegal a long time ago. And I do have a legal education. So I may know slightly more than the average layman legal bear, let's just say. I will not be giving legal advice, etc. We leave that to Betty. I just tell you that, and I've never told anyone before that I worked as a paralegal at one time. Many, it was decades ago. But that's what I went to school for. And I didn't go to a then private university. And I use that term in the loosest possible sense of the word, because where Betty claims to have gone to school, I personally do not believe that she has any college education at all, that is my right. That is my opinion. And I, at least unlike this one, this idiot we're looking at, I base my opinions on my life experience and the things I know. And I know that she should have called herself Blowhard Betty, because that's what she is. She's a blowhard. And I can tell you that I'm a fucking astronaut, okay? But if I can't converse with you about, physics and whatnot, and other science, math related things, well, then that probably would indicate that I am not an astronaut. And this one does, in my experience and opinion, she does not speak as one who is an educated person, much less one who has a legal education. And I'm basing that on my own legal education. That's just my opinion. Hi, Tammy Lou. How you doing? You are correct. The school that Betty says she went to, Kaiser, at the time she would have been there, I believe it's at the time she would have been there, whether she was there or not. At one time, I promise you, the state of Florida would not accept the credits from that university. If I call it a finance company that gives you a degree for, financing your education with them. That has now changed because of when the federal government stepped in and told all these, like back in the days when the opiate crisis was getting really ramping up, and we called them pill mills. Well, where she went to school, I look at as like a diploma mill. Hey, Runs with Scissors, how you doing? Oh my God, look at that. Agreed. Yeah, if you, as Heels in the Air likes to say, who interestingly enough is supposedly one of the respondents in this absurd lawsuit, as she likes to say, if you could fog up a mirror, you're in. Hey, Catherine, how are you? Yeah, anybody could go to that school. You didn't even have to have a high school diploma. I would imagine you had to have a GED. And what they really specialized in was taking advantage of people who could not get into or could not get financial aid to go to a state accredited university. So, hey, come on, we'll take you over here and we'll even finance you at probably an interest rate right at usury. I don't know. But yeah. So when I say I do not believe this bitch has a college education, I've never seen proof of said education. So I'm going to base it on what I do see and hear. And that is someone who is poorly spoken and doesn't sound very bright. If I had to guess, like truly, if you just showed me maybe 15 minutes of her on various clips, and I'm somebody who knows nothing about the woman, and you say to me, give me your thoughts based on what you've seen, I would honestly say it's a wildly insecure, poorly spoken, not very bright woman who wants you to think that she knows everything and she's the smartest one in the room, but she's used to, let's just say, like I said the other day, the way I look at this lawsuit, to me, this is a strong arm tactic. And if this idiot thinks that her lawsuit is ever even going to make it to a judge, she's crazy. It will not. Mark my words. And if by some chance I'm wrong, Betty, I'll buy you a pair of sunglasses, and well, we'll just keep it there. But I would also say, yeah, she sounds to me like she's got a verbal communication level and intellect level of your average 8th to 9th grader. And I'm sorry, that's my opinion. If Betty, kind of like I've asked her to, she gets on here and makes a veiled threat to everyone about what a great shot she is. Prove it. Prove it. Take a video of yourself at the range, hitting the target, and I'll never say a word about it again. Kind of like, truthfully, I wouldn't, even if she did post her degree, I would question that. But by all means, yeah, post it. Here's what I want to know. At some place in this 115 pages of insanity, does this stupid bitch put her grade point average in there anywhere? Hey, it's me, Amberly. Oh God, it's just it's absurd. Yeah. God, there was one other point I wanted to make about her dumbass lawsuit. I can't remember. It'll come to me, I'm sure. And in the meantime, we'll just listen to her go up. Okay. Nope. That's from Sophia Webster. That's one of my favorite shoe designers. Nope. Sophia, I'm busy. Go away. Thank you for the discount code, though.
I'm actively in a lawsuit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I beg to differ, you stupid bitch. You have filed a lawsuit, but interestingly enough, the respondents, the alleged respondents, well, according to them, they have not been served with any lawsuit or any cease and desist. By the way, before I forget, y'all, please check out Menace to Sobriety's fantastic video from this morning. I think it was this morning, possibly last night. It is linked on my community page. He sums up in about 12 minutes what this blowhard bitch couldn't manage to do in 115 pages. And Betty, you are the laughing stock of YouTube. At least this little neighborhood of YouTube. Like, I cannot imagine wanting to be known for shit like this. My God. I tell you what, here's one thing that I absolutely pride myself on. Say whatever you want about me. Tell me I'm old. Tell me I'm a bitch. Blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit about that because I know who I am. The only thing I care about is the one thing nobody, no matter how much you may dislike me, there's nobody on here who's going to call me stupid. Can you say the same, Betty? No, you can't. You are a laughing stock, rightly so. And in my opinion, I'm not sure she is delusional enough to think that this dumbass lawsuit is going anywhere. She is that like dim-witted that she could possibly believe that she's going to prevail. She absolutely will not. So there is that possibility that she actually thinks this has a chance, which would make her dumber than I already think she is. And that is not easy to do because I already consider her to be the dimmest bulb in the chandelier, let's just say. But bye, crazy nurse. Go get more beautiful. Hello, wine, crime, and mayhem. Oh, you are right. BHB is an utter idiot. She has zero class, no respect, and a total lack of social mores. You are correct. Ding, ding, ding. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Yeah, Betty doesn't even have enough sense to be embarrassed. See, because when you're somebody like her, who nobody has ever given a damn about anything she has to say in her life, because she has no credibility and she's not smart. And she's a mean, nasty bitch, in my opinion. So why would anybody want to listen to you? And it's not like you're hot. Because let me tell you something, when you're hot, well, you can get away with more than somebody who's like her. But still, when it comes down to it, beauty fades, dumbness forever. Betty, you got one out of the two, and it will last forever. So we have the possibility that she really is delusional enough to think that this is going to go anywhere. And by the way, let's not forget, add on to that her subs are going to continue to fund this, because, hey, dipshit, even though you're filing pro se, well, you're talking two different jurisdictions, and let's just say, Betty, you can't afford this. Bitch, you can't afford to get a roof. You think you can afford a lawsuit of this type in a multi-jurisdictional situation? God, you're such an idiot. So she either actually believes it, or, and here's the thing, I don't know which is more likely. Or we have the other scenario that, and this is what I think is the case. Oh, hell, it's probably all of the above. But I believe that this is nothing more than, Betty has never heard the expression, apparently, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. Because she's such a nasty bitch, and she's not a nice person, that's her go-to. That's all she knows. All she knows is chaos, conflict. And why would you ask nicely with a smile when you can foam at the mouth and scream and yell and beat somebody's ass? Like, I don't know. But I believe this is nothing more than Betty's having a little temper tantrum, like a little child, and she is trying to exert her will on everyone in the community. You will not talk about me. You're harassing me. Betty, all joking aside, you need help. Like, I don't know what is wrong with you. That is way above my pay grade. But I'm telling you, Betty, you're a joke. Nobody in this community that has any sense likes you or believes anything you say. You are one of the least credible people on here. You're hateful, you're mean, you're vindictive, you're petty. I mean, I could go on and on. So this is someone who isn't smart enough or clever enough to fight with her words, just like we tell little kids, use your words. So instead, she's gonna listen. The fact that this bitch could sit in front of all her peers, which is what we are, whether we like it or not, or neighbors. I mean, we're all in this same community. So we are her peers. The fact that she could sit in front of her peers and what she thinks is going to be someone with enough education and standing in the community that they are a fucking sitting judge on a bench in a circuit court. And she thinks with her history, and I don't just mean her civil and criminal history documented in the clerk of the court's docket. I'm talking her numerous videos acting the damn fool, harassing, violating the personal space of lots and lots of people that in her empty head, she has deemed guilty of something, oftentimes without even so much as an arrest and with no evidence either, of course, unless you count news articles on that she's culled from Google as evidence. I mean, that fact alone should tell everyone what you are dealing with. I mean, I just simply cannot imagine being so fucking delusional that I would think, oh, before I continue my rant, Betty, here's a word to the wise from someone who actually does have, legal education and worked in the field. Honey, unless it's a fucking Supreme Court brief, I promise you, there is not a judge alive that wants to see 115 fucking pages in a complaint. And by the way, Betty, you do understand, don't you, that the complaint is where you lay out your causes of action. It's not where you put every fucking piece of evidence. Do you think you're having a little trial on the piece of paper? I haven't read it, so God knows, my head's probably going to fly right off my shoulders. This is how stupid you are. I mean, you just laid out, I'm assuming, if not all, very much large part of your evidence. My God, Betty, fucking the trial for O.J. Simpson will have taken less time than your little trial's going to take. I mean, are you nuts? What the hell is wrong with you? I promise you, you're never going to get in front of a judge. But if, on the off chance that you did, he would already hate your ass for making him read 100. Well, I don't know if circuit court judges, I don't know the size of that jurisdiction. I don't know if they have interns or not. I don't think so. They do have JAs. And just remember, y'all, keep asking yourself, how come this brilliant legal mind, why doesn't this stupid bitch work as a paralegal, I wonder? Oh, why would that be? Oh, because you more resemble the criminals than the litigants. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm basing that opinion on your very public record. But you do not. I am blown away just the little bit I know. It's on my iPad. Don't worry. Like I said, a little bird was kind enough to send it to me. I just haven't had a chance to dig into it yet. And I promise you, it is going to be a color-coded response. But, oh, Hugh, good. I'm glad. Let me tell you something. Woo! I got no shortage of ranting for this dumb bitch. And I just... I cannot believe she filed a 115-page complaint. You stupid bitch! You do not lay out all your evidence in the goddamn complaint. You lay out your causes of actions, you damn fool. God, she is an idiot. Absolute moron. Okay, let's keep going. I've gotten like 1 minute into this thing.
I make it very clear to my audience. This is a serious lawsuit.
Oh, no, it's not.
This is not a game. This is not a joke.
Yeah, it is.
This is
yes, no. Betty? Yes, no. It is a joke of epic proportions. You are a joke of epic proportions, in my opinion.
Not for a click or a view.
It is for clicks, views, and above all, money. And even as much as all those things, it's because this miserable bitch who has no friends and no man, that's for sure. She takes nothing but her hateful, bitter, ugly, lonely ass to bed every night. And you will be that way the rest of your life if you keep this shit up. It is very much a game. And because you don't have any of those things I just mentioned, you'll take the next best thing, which is being the boss of YouTube. That's honestly, that is what her mentality is childlike. What you are witnessing is an adult temper tantrum. She has got the maturity and the mentality of a middle school child, in my opinion.
I'm listening to people analyze this. I don't know how it got out. I'm not sure.
Y'all, I'm going to need to get something I can hit. I'm going to need to get like a damn it doll. I'm going to need something. I don't know how it got out. Hey, stupid bitch, over here. Listen, I know you think that you're running your own little version of fucking Cuba over there. That's how you think the world should be. It's the world according to Betty. Honey, hey, legal scholar. Yeah. The what? You. Yeah, you, the one with the fucking broken off blonde hair. Betty, if I'm legally blonde, you're legally busted the fuck up, is what you are. And Betty, since clearly maybe you forgot this part of your legal education, let's have a refresher, shall we? Our system of justice here in the United States, well, it's as open and transparent as possible. And in court proceedings such as this, where we're not talking about minor children or other subject matters that are protected by law, the confidentiality is, they're protected by the law. Just dumb bitches who want to impose their will over others. No, that's not protected by confidentiality. So when you are stupid enough to file a treatise, it's a fucking legal treatise minus the legal. So when you're dumb enough to file a 115-page treatise with the court, she won't even know what that is. She should, though, if she's got a legal education. When you're dumb enough to do that, or anybody who files a civil lawsuit, Well, sweetie, that's public record. Public record. Isn't that what you all the vile, hideous, foul things you do to dig into people's personal lives? Don't you? Isn't that what you always say? Well, it's public record. So, you can't figure out. I don't know how it got out. Did you think it was a secret? Why would it have been a secret? The minute the clerk did that and took your money, which Betty, girl, you should have taken that money and go get a hairdresser, a real one, not one that has a chair and a bowl, or I don't know, maybe she uses a damn hose and a bucket to rinse you out in the backyard. Go get a real hairdresser. That's what you should do. Oh, and the teeth, yeah, woo. I heard you complaining about your dental work you got to get done, girl. Yeah, you might want to. You should have spent that money going to the dentist and finding a real hairdresser. That would have been money much better spent. Not this nonsense.
Or people did a public records request, which it is public record. But
so why are you wondering how people found out? Do you see what she does? She's literally contradicting herself.
What I can tell you is that while they're over there joking and thinking a judge is going to laugh this out of a courtroom,
bitch, it will never make it to a courtroom. I assure you of that.
Once she speaks to...
Here's my guess, without going through it. But my guess is, I can tell you this. Unless she produces otherwise, the alleged respondents, Queen Bee and Heels in the Air, you have not properly affected service of process. That's what I'm understanding, because they're saying we haven't even been served. And I don't see Betty. Well, you can't have service of process affected with a complaint via an email or a return receipt requested registered mail. They ask your friend Dolly about it. He knows all about this. He should have filled you in. So my guess is that it will be kicked because it will be improper form, etc.
Real attorney, I'm pretty sure she's going to understand to the gravity of this lawsuit.
Hey, dumbass. It's not she will understand to the gravity. It's of the gravity, you fucking idiot.
And I think the people...
you see what I mean when I say she's poorly spoken? She wants you to think that she is a college graduate. And she is saying, when you get a lawyer, you're going to understand the degree to which, or whatever the fuck she just said that was wrong.
Other people are going to also have to come to Jesus with how...
Betty, we have a very clear separation of church and state, pumpkin. I know this is just a turn of phrase. It's a euphemism. But for one that's a constitutional scholar such as yourself, well, my goodness, I would think that you would want to very much respect the separation of church and state. So what are you doing bringing Jesus into this? Can I tell you all right now, I would absolutely love to debate this bitch. Betty, anytime, any place. And here's what I'll tell you. I would do it cold without 1 minute of brushing up on anything. And you could study 23 hours out of the day to debate me, and you wouldn't have a prayer.
Important and to the gravity of this lawsuit.
To the gravity. You will understand to the gravity. How about of the gravity, idiot?
Just because you think it's okay or YouTube forces us to sue these people doesn't make it any less illegal.
Who is forcing? How is YouTube forcing Betty to sue anyone? Is she talking about because she can't have her little temper tantrum with YouTube like you do with, oh, I don't know, maybe the Manatee County commissioners meetings where you get to go up, once a month or however often they meet? Those poor bastards. My God. Can you imagine when they see her? Oh God. The night before, every one of those commissioners is like, when they're sitting around with their significant other that night, whether it's their husband or their wife or their boyfriend or their girlfriend, whatever it may be, that when they're sitting around having a little dinner, maybe having a glass of wine, and one looks at the other and says, "Oh, honey, what's on the agenda for the meeting?" I know if it was me and my husband, let's just say my husband was a county commissioner, well, that night over dinner, I would look at him and I'd say, "Oh, honey, so tell me, what do you think that wretched bitch, when she flies in on her broom for her 3 minutes of fame at the lectern, what do we think she's going to be bitching about tomorrow?" Yeah, this is a woman who has no agency at all in her own life, which is why she will vigorously snatch any opportunity she has to feel important. Bitch, you're not important. And if you were, even in your own little mind, you wouldn't have to do the things that you do to prove to everyone how important you are. Betty, girl, you know what you should do? Because this legal thing, it's not going to work out for you. Apparently, like, peopling isn't going to work out for you either. So, Betty, I'm a decade older than you are. Yeah, I know. I know I look at least 15 years younger. But be that as it may, I'm 10 years older than you. And you're at the age where you start reflecting on things, and you start having the thoughts that, wow, boy, life sure has sped by really fast. And trust me, it does. The older you get, the faster it goes. And I tell you what, I know that, I'd be really sad if I was alone with no job, seemingly no real friends, definitely no man or woman as a partner, and no prospects. So Betty, instead of trying to strong arm all of YouTube, having your little temper tantrum, your money and your time would be better spent. Why don't you go, Betty? Why don't you go to what I was actually thinking, she's too old to do, but what I was actually thinking is, she should do one of those like Outward Bound programs. Do you remember those back in the day? Like, if you were a kid who, was in legal trouble, or you were on drugs, whatever the case may be, your parents could send you to one of these like wilderness programs where they kind of just throw you out there in the woods, and you have to learn to work with other people and whatnot to survive. Hey, voices. If you could find something like that, like a boot camp for learning how to be, a human, a nicer person. Yeah. Because Betty, your shitty life, well, that's evidence enough that you seem to have you've strayed off the path. Or actually, you've probably just stayed on the path. That's the problem. But why don't you go find a spa weekend somewhere, or I don't know, Betty. You're miserable. You are truly miserable. And you spread your misery around. That hear me loud and clear. That is your legacy. At least here on YouTube. You are a miserable bitch. You spread misery, hate, vitriol everywhere you go. Well, Betty, by the way, why did you leave TikTok? I've always wondered that. Some people say they ran you off of there. I don't know. What'd you do over there? Something tells me that Betty probably just goes community to community, platform to platform. But your reputation is starting to precede you. There's not many places left for you to go. Oh yeah, voices. I give zero fucks with this one. I'm just sick of her. Sofa King Tight, how you doing? Okay, carrying on. Or trying to anyway.
To do the kind of conduct on here. This thing that you can say, oh, well, this is just YouTube stuff. No, I didn't subscribe to this YouTube stuff.
What the hell do you mean you didn't subscribe to this YouTube stuff? What does that mean? I don't know what it means.
I signed that contract with YouTube. This is not what I subscribe to. This is not.
How about what I signed up for? How about what, everybody else on here who has a channel for that doesn't do what you do? What did they sign up for? Shut up, Betty. God, sit down and just shut
what
up.
was in my contract with them. So at the end of the day, if anybody thinks that this is not a legit lawsuit,
it's not,
or this doesn't have merit, is a fool.
No, you are a fool. As I've demonstrated for about the last, let me see how long we've been going here. About an hour. Well, for 30 minutes, I talked about my new decor projects. So we'll just say for the last hour. For about the last hour, yeah, I've demonstrated. I've drug you up and down, back and forth, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that I've sold the proposition.
And all those attachments to that lawsuit, that's the evidence that substantiates the claim.
You don't put the fucking evidence in the complaint, you idiot. Like, did you save anything for, well, it's not going to get there, but if it did, Betty, we know you love your moment in the sun more than anything. So, sweetie, did you save anything for the, most people, they bring their evidence in the hearing or in the trial. They don't put all their evidence in the complaint because it doesn't belong there, number one. And number two, it kind of clues in the respondents to what you're working with. So you see, Betty, you are not very clever.
Claims. Those elements that you read in that lawsuit at the beginning, those are elements I must meet in order to prove my claim. Those attachments to that lawsuit are that proof.
That comes issue. Okay. I may need, here's what I need to say, because I have not read it yet. So is she asking for a trial? Because if she is, I mean, well, how does she think this works? Does she think that the judge is going to look at her complaint and go, yep, you win? I mean, my God, her ignorance is just, I mean, it's staggering. It truly is. Hey, Running Bear, how you doing? I mean, honest to God, who puts all the evidence in with the complaint? You stupid bitch, have you never even watched, I don't know, fucking Judge Judy? What? Betty. Hey, let me give you a quick lesson, asshole. The judge does not look at the evidence prior to the trial. Because here's a news flash for you, sweetie. It may not be admissible. Okay? So the evidence has to be admitted into evidence. I am not an attorney. And I don't play one like Betty does. But this, Betty, there is so much wrong with this. Let me ask this question. Is anybody else wondering the obvious like I am? If this is something that she really is dumb enough to think is going anywhere, well, why doesn't she have a lawyer? I mean, besides the obvious that she can't afford one, I would imagine. Because if this is if this has merit, and it's not a joke, and I mean, let's face it, at least what, $100,000 is hanging in the balance. Well, I mean, personal injury attorneys, they take cases on contingency all the time. Meaning, I have a cause of action against Joe Blow for XYZ. Can you represent me in court? But I can't afford to pay you right now. Oh, yes, Joe Blow. We will take your case on contingency. And because we've gone over all the facts of your case and we feel, well, let's just say lawyers do not accept cases and do work on contingency cases unless they are very, very, very convinced that they will prevail. And then they take their 33 1/3%, at least in the state of Florida. So do you mean to tell me in this giant case of, Betty being defamed? Well, Betty, my goodness, Florida is home to Morgan & Morgan for the people, one of the largest personal injury firms in the state of Florida and possibly across the country. So I'm just wondering, why not a lawyer? How come a lawyer's not doing this? If this case has such merit and it's not a joke. It is a joke and it's meritless. It is nothing but a self-important idiot using the courts as her bully pulpit. And oh boy, Betty, I hope you have enough sense to go crawling away from YouTube when this spectacularly blows up in your face and you look even more the fool than you look now. Although I don't know how that's going to happen. Oh, Running Bear. I saw that case. Yes, that's another one who thought she was hot shit and thought she knew everything. You want to listen to one of the funniest things you will ever hear of a self-important bitch like this one that didn't know jack shit? Like she wanted everybody to think, yeah, go listen to the case with Lana like banana and Vanessa from Unmasked. Betty, you should go watch that, girl, because that's going to be your fate too. And Betty, there's few things that people love more than to see a big mouth, dumbass bully take a fall.
This joke about how these are posts, that's libel.
I don't know what
her videos are slander. And
well, my goodness, Betty, to that I would say, I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. You've done all the same shit. You are the biggest hypocrite in the world. My God. Oh, you're a hypocrite with tragic hair.
And those are things she's going to have to address at some point.
So
So I digress. It is a legal
let me
matter.
tell you something. No, Betty, you're not digressing, you idiot. The subject at hand is your frivolous lawsuit. So you're not digressing. See, just yet another example of you being the dumbass that you are. Betty, stop using words that you don't understand the meaning of, like behoove. Betty, it would behoove you to get a dictionary. Although that really wasn't. Betty, when you say I digress, that means that you're going backwards. You're straying off the subject. You've been on the path the whole time. So what the fuck are you digressing from? I would say your better sense. Well, I think we all see the folly in that.
I'm not going to be discussing legal matters here
Yes,
on
you
YouTube,
are.
but what I can
Well,
tell
why
you.
would you stop now? That's all you've ever done. And you've never known what you're talking about for the most part. So why are you going to stop now?
Is so far every legal analysis I've heard. This is why you don't listen to people that have no education.
Listen, you stupid. See you next Tuesday. I do have education. And I'm telling you, your lawsuit is a joke. But finish what you were saying. Did I not just hear her say, in every legal analysis I've heard? And then we go right into, this is why you don't listen to people who don't have an education. Well, I do. And that is what I'm saying. She is dumb as wood. Oh, she is dumb as wood, in my opinion.
That have no understanding of the law.
Oh, I have. Listen, bitch, I can promise you most of us have a better grasp on the law than you do, as should be evidenced by your train wreck of a lawsuit.
They're looking like idiots and they're making their case even more stronger for me.
No, wait a minute. What the fuck did she just say? Did she just say more stronger? Please tell me she said more stronger. What are we at here? Damn it, why can't I see? Wait. Oh, shit.
Attachments to that lawsuit
Sorry.
are that proof. This
Conflicts.
joke about how these are posts, that's libel. Her videos are slander. And those are things she's going to have to address at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So I digress. It is a legal matter.
No,
I'm not going to be discussing legal matters here on YouTube, but what I can tell you is so far every legal analysis I've heard, this is
what is that? What does that mean? She started to say so far every legal analysis I've heard. Well, I mean, what I was expecting was her to say, is that I'm a legal scholar and I'm gonna win. But instead, what she said was, this is why you do. I mean, Betty, what's swirling around up here? Because like what you said just made no sense. Just saying.
why you don't listen to people that have no education.
Okay, well, take your own advice. You resemble your own advice.
That have no understanding of the law.
Oh, check.
They're looking like idiots and they're making their case even more stronger for me.
Oh my God, she did. They're making their case even more stronger for me. Betty, that is elementary school usage. You, Betty, are the idiot and the fool. They are making their case more stronger for me. Betty, omit the more. It's just they are making their case stronger for me. Doesn't that sound so much more pleasant to the ear than they are making their case more stronger for me? My God. Please tell me, am I crazy? Is something wrong with me? Am I a bitch because I am pointing out that this blowhard bitch wants you to believe she's some kind of a scholar, and she in this, hold on, I'm gonna tell you how many minutes in. We started at like 4:30 and we're at 7. In about 2.5 minutes, she has made at least 2, and I believe 3 grammar and usage errors. And we're not talking big words. You're a hypocrite. You're a liar. Do you know this is why I say I don't believe you have any college degree. I don't, because you don't speak as an educated person does. And I'm not talking about a college educated person. Emmy, are you still here? I mean, I know I have at least one teacher in the chat. I'm assuming Professor Kate is possibly an educator. I mean, how do you do this? This is what I wanted. This is why I can't stand this bitch. I hate a liar. And I'm sorry. You are a liar. You are a condescending bitch. Oh, well, Professor Kate, how many grammar or usage errors have you heard her make? This is why I can't stand her. And what the hell is wrong with you fools who follow her? Even better question. Bash. Okay. Oh, literally, Davis. Oh God. Here, you know that I have. Oh, that's a double-edged sword for me. Well, you know what? That could be good. Uncivil law may cover it just to show the ridiculousness. Okay. See, to me, it's a double-edged sword. It will absolutely shoot her down in spectacular flames. So that part is good. But the part I don't like is that it would give this skank eyes on, and it would give her a bigger audience that she doesn't need to have. But yeah, okay.
My suggestion is to get a real attorney and take this seriously.
Oh, like you? Why?
Because I'm telling you,
why?
For 150.
Why do they need a real attorney to go against you? A high school kid could go against you and prevail.
$50,000. You better be taking it very damn serious.
Why? It's a joke.
Because even then, oh, it's only 50.
Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes. Boy, somebody is somebody's I just keep waiting for the day we might ever see. Oh, well, my goodness. If they get to court, well, it would be a chance to see what her eyes look like. Well, never mind. It would be interesting to see if she's got crazy eyes like that out in the real world.
50,000. No, honey. You got 3 claims against you for 50,000 apiece.
Oh.
You better wake up and realize how serious this is.
No, you're.
And if you think that your countersuit something I said in March after a year of
Bitch, you are going to open up a can of whoop ass that you don't want. And no, I don't mean that kind of whoop ass, Betty. Not the kind that you're used to doing. Yeah, be careful what you wish for. You might get it. Oh, goodness. Yeah, that could be very bad. Just think of all the discovery, all the yeah, you'll have to produce, I believe it's 3 years worth of disclosures. Oh, the interrogatories will be fun. Yeah, Betty, careful what you wish for, pumpkin.
of you beating me over the head. You think that's okay?
What about you?
I think a judge is going to laugh me out of the courtroom.
Yes, very much.
Good luck.
You're not even going to get to the courtroom because it's wrong. It's improper on its face from the sounds of it. You have not even affected service of process on the litigants.
Luck. To all the Google attorneys out there, we'll see, right? We'll see. We'll see at the end of the day. But
what are you? What kind of attorney are you? You're a jailhouse lawyer? Yeah, Betty went to jailhouse you. Yeah.
Other thing I do want to point out is once this goes through, I want everybody to realize that this lawsuit with Crude was never a joke.
No, it was. God, you are a wretched, vile bitch. And this is why people hate you, because you're a bully. You are a child who wants her way above and to the exclusion of everyone else. In Betty's world, it's only about Betty, and the only thing that matters is what Betty wants. And Betty's life is evidence of her very juvenile, immature, childish mentality. This is not how grown-ups act. You can't take the heat, so you should get the hell out of the kitchen. Crude AF decided that it was not worth it to him to have a bitch like you and your nasty minions harassing his family. So he made it go away in the quickest and easiest way possible. It had nothing to do with you. And Betty, Betty, I promise you, you're going to come up against the right one day. God, I hope I'm there to see it. I mean, Betty, here's something to ponder. When you have thousands of people that hate your guts, they're not all wrong. And it's not all them. And you are utterly incapable of taking criticism. And more importantly, you cannot accept being told no. Kind of like, well, look at Chief Hadley. Why all of the vitriol for him? I can tell you what it has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with the heroic efforts that his entire team and every law enforcement officer that was digging for that child in Savannah, this stupid bitch right here has done nothing but denigrate him and everyone else. And you know why? Because she didn't get to get her way. She didn't get to exert her will over his. She wanted an arrest made. Now, why aren't you doing something? Well, this dumb bitch right here, she hasn't had a real job in who knows how long, a very long time, if ever. Betty, this isn't a job. You don't get a W-2. If anything, you get a 1099K. Oh, Betty, that reminds me. But I guess we'd find this out in the discovery process. But Betty, here's just a little note to self. You might want to keep this in mind. There's always been these rumors that your channel is not actually in your name. I don't know if it is or not. I don't give a shit. But, the IRS and the Department of Revenue, that old expression. I love my old expressions. Well, two things are certain in this world: death and taxes. And there's been, oh my goodness, look at all the criminals that have been taken down by good old Uncle Sam. Hi, LG, how you doing? Yeah, I sure hope that you or whoever well, now, my goodness, wouldn't that make an interesting argument? Because if Betty's channel is not, in fact, in Betty's name, well, wouldn't that throw a little wrench into this? Because if that's the case, and I'm not saying it is, but it's been rumored for quite a while that her channel's not in her name. So if that were to be proven true, well, then her statement about when I signed that contract with YouTube, but did you sign a contract with YouTube? I don't know. I don't believe anything she says. So, but just be careful what you wish for, because I can tell you this, I promise you, I probably have a better chance of turning into a unicorn within the next 30 seconds of sitting in this chair. But on the very off chance that this ever did, let's say she cleans up all the myriad of problems and actually did get to court. Well, I'm not a lawyer, but my advice as a thinking person would be to tell any of the litigants involved to sue your busted ass into oblivion in a countersuit and make it take as long as you can. Yeah, because see, Betty, when you get into these levels of court fights, which is, you won't understand this because you don't have any money, but when you get into these high stakes legal situations, well, it's usually she with the most money wins. That's usually how these things go. Yeah, you just kind of sue them into oblivion. And my goodness, these suits can take years. Hey, True Crime Dime, how are you? Oh, True Crime Dime, there are so many problems. My God, I'm glad I hadn't even pointed that out yet. I have not read it yet, but I was saying earlier that when I do, I'm going to use color-coded highlighters for the various problems. But True Crime Dime's comment says she's not suing as Bullhorn Betty. She's suing as Andra, a private citizen, which is the major problem with her lawsuit. Can't have it both ways, dipshit. I would agree. But she's not that bright. Betty is an immature bully. And she has spent her life seemingly, I'm only going by her prolific criminal and civil history. This is a woman who she wants her way, one way or the other. And she doesn't care about anyone else's rights. It's just what Betty wants. So basically, she's a 12-year-old is what she is. And I'm only partially kidding when I say that. I truly believe she is so emotionally stunted. And I don't know why. I don't care why. Here's what I know. She, in the greater role of citizens who contribute to society, this bitch right here, she has never contributed anything. She is a drain on society. She's, from her numerous arrests where, legal resources have been used. Listen, I don't have to know her to know that eventually she'll be gone from here. She'll go to the next place. She'll terrorize that place, wherever that is, and she'll get run out of there. I mean, we all know what she is. We all know what people like her, how they live, and what they do. They're not stable people. I mean, typically, I can tell you this, if she didn't own a home, and don't ask me how that happened, but she would be that person that was moving to a different apartment complex once a year. That would be her. All right. Yeah, Professor Kate, that's what she does. But I can promise you she has met her match with these two. I don't believe for 1 minute this thing is ever going anywhere. But should it? I mean, listen, crazier things have happened. But, and Betty, I got news for you. If you think for 1 minute that you, bull scorn, bitch hole Betty, if you think that in terms of the community of YouTube that we're all in, if you think for one hot second that you will have a fraction of the support that Queen Bee and Heels will have, you're a fool. You're an even bigger fool than I already know you are. And I already proudly was the first one of the live stream to donate to a potential legal defense fund, and I'll keep doing it. And I promise you, there'll be plenty that will follow suit.
And he lied to his audience. He lied to each and every one of you.
You lie every damn day. What are you talking about?
I'm not a frivolous lawsuit suer. Never have been and never will be.
No, you are.
Every case that I have brought has had merit.
What fucking case has she brought? What is she talking about? I mean, who else has she sued besides Crude? I don't know, because she's irrelevant to my life. Bitch, I live in a beautiful home. I got a fabulous family, an amazing husband. I give two shits about you and your lawsuits. When I leave my office, I'm done. This is a hobby. You are excellent practice for keeping my my verbal sparring skills sharpened. That's all you are. Okay, Bash, that's what I thought, that it's just Crude. She thinks getting a $500 judgment that he signed off on just because this amoral, unethical beast started to harass his family member's business. Who wouldn't do the same thing? I don't know. Would your family, Betty? She acts like she's, fucking Johnny Cochran because because she got a $500 judgment. Bitch, that was $499 more than you were worth. Which, interestingly enough, well, I think I told that to another beast this weekend. Yeah, I did. That Black Queen bitch. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, I told her that if Gina Diamond gave her a $5 super chat, it was $4.99 more than she was worth. And I'd say the same thing to you. Oh, that's right. She sued the laundries for, yeah. That, and you know what? That was, you want to talk about a fucking abuse of resources? Right there. Do you think that she sued the laundries because she gave a shit about the $20 sign or whatever it was? No, she did it to get her name on national television. That's why she did it.
Standing, and I hate to break the news to you, the majority of my cases, I have one.
What, all fucking one of them? One of one. That was settled. The majority of my cases. Oh, Betty, is that what you were talking about when you were, speaking of the laundries, is that what you were talking about when you were on Hey JB's live chat during the time they were looking for Brian Laundrie? And you told all the nice people, I know about the law, you guys. I'm a lawyer. I went to law school. Shame, shame, shame. Naughty, naughty. That's not Betty. That's not right.
This is not a joking matter. This is not a laughing matter. This is a very serious matter.
No.
And no matter what they tell you out there, the bottom line is, how am I a frivolous lawsuit suer? How many lawsuits have I brought?
Because you are a fucking hypocrite who has done 100 times worse than any of the bullshit you're alleging to victims and their families, victims of crime. That's why. Hey, Dis, how you doing? Betty, you should have taken that. What was it? What did she say the filing fee was? Oh, true crime dime. See, when I was working as a paralegal, we are talking, oh my God, well, let me think about this. It would have been 90s, early 90s, like maybe between 90 and 92, the best I can remember. And I can assure you at that time, there was no such thing. But what the hell was I just going to say? Damn it. I lost it. Shit. I've been doing so good. Hey, Nick, how you doing? What was I going to say? Oh, yes, Betty, the filing fee. Girl, like I said, you should have taken that money and like gone and invested in a good wig, because you're going to need one soon by the looks of things.
Brought. How many?
Two? What? One of one?
That's what constitutes somebody? I don't think so. Not in the eyes of a court. But
excuse me, dumbass. You are not the court. So why are you speaking for what constitutes what in the eyes of the court?
Again, I would suggest you get an attorney and get off YouTube. Get off the YouTube attorneys.
I would suggest you fucking spin on this. That's what I would suggest to you. Oh, I got all kinds of suggestions, Betty. You want to give out suggestions? Okay, here's mine for you. Go get a wig. Go get a wardrobe that doesn't look like you borrowed it from a 12-year-old middle school boy. Go take a refresher course on English 101, grammar and usage. I don't know, go find yourself a support group for miserable, wretched, narcissistic assholes and how to love the one in your life. I mean, I could go on and on. If you want to start doling out advice and suggestions, oh, I got suggestions for days, Betty. Private citizen and victim. Yeah, Betty, spin on that bitch. Oh, horrible. They're just wretched. Betty, you and all your ilk, you're disgusting. You're a fucking pile of shit as far as I'm concerned. Oh.
Because, honey, let me break it to you. This is about as serious as a heart attack.
Let me break it to you, honey. Oh, I'm gonna not. There's something like just really mean that I would like to say so bad, but I'm not Betty. I have impulse control, so let's just let her carry on.
Happens. It's going to get. Getting on with the morning.
Oh yes, Betty. You also might want.
Good morning, Sonia, twin mom. Sonia, and by the way, grifting. You don't even know what's in a lawsuit, but
Betty,
I'm a liar.
I thought you were done. What the hell? You just said moving on. Betty, this is where you should have said, I digress. Because see, you were on a rant, and then you, for 26 and a half seconds, you moved on, and then you said something else. This is the point where you would say, I digress. Just a little helpful advice there. Not that you're about helpful advice, because if you were, well, you would appear under an avatar. Yes, Betty. It's funny because some people bitch about when show your face. Well, God, I wish you would stop showing yours. That would be my advice to you. Betty, get a pretty cartoon avatar that's got beautiful, blonde hair like this, like you wish you could have. We would all thank you for it.
And now you're collecting money for your defense.
Hold on a minute. I was in that live stream the very first time any of this has been talked about. And by the way, interestingly enough, Queen Bee and the other alleged respondent have yet to receive said lawsuit. You have not served them, and I promise you, it has only been spoken of in the most general terms. I'm pretty sure they have found out about it from Dolly Vision, like everybody else. So I assure you, nobody was asking for money for a legal defense fund. I made a joke, sent a super chat, and I said, let's get this legal defense fund party started right, shall we? Yeah, I think I was proudly the first to donate. And I already told Queen Bee, I said, girl, buy yourself, we all know this shit's going nowhere. So just take that money and buy your kids something or buy yourself something. I don't care.
I think you need to talk to an attorney, babe. Just saying. Before you get yourself into a lot more trouble. Just saying. Good morning, Sonia, twin mom, Southern Granny Wolf.
Let's see if she's
Sheila, Z.A., Patty G, Madonna. It's nice to see you in the house. Karen Davis, good morning from across the pond. It's nice to see you.
Oh, Betty.
Lady O.
Betty, God, these are called nasal labial folds. Girl, if you're going to have Betty, if you're going to be like world famous in the legal system, like if Court TV is going to be on the steps of the courthouse waiting to see you get your $300,000 judgment, girl, go get yourself some damn Juvederm before you go. Because they are not going to light you up with a damn Klieg light out there. They're not going to put a filter on you. Girl, you need to learn how to blend too. Oh God, Betty, is there anything you excel at besides being a wretched bitch? Not anything in, like, Betty is the least feminine woman running around this place. Oh yeah, babe. Babe and little girl. Listen, that is what a low-life bitch like her. That's what. Listen, she's got to work with what she's got. She's got a Fisher Price toolbox, okay, to my master craftsman. And when you are not very smart, you come up with little things like that are just stupid. I am telling you this right now, hand to God. I have no one in my personal life that is friend or family that has ever referred to another woman as little girl or babe. And that is not to say that they've never had, we've all had words or altercations with friends or family, not usually friends, but that is her, that's what she's got. Everybody uses what they've got. Betty doesn't have much, okay? So that's her not very smart person's, that's her comeback. Babe, little girl. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Little girl? I mean, it's just weird. Oh, True Crime Dime says, just looked it up. If she ever was a licensed paralegal in Florida, her name would be on the registry, date she was licensed, date it lapsed. She is not and has never been a paralegal in Florida. I would be interested to know, when did that, does it say when that became part of, y'all give me just 1 second. For anybody who came in later, I have a family member in the hospital right now, and I'm just kind of getting updates as we go. I don't want anybody to think that I'm sitting here when I should be at the hospital. I cannot be. But I'm getting updates on my phone, so that's why I'm pausing now and again. And okay, so True Crime Dime. Does it say when that became, when that database or that registry came into being? Because I can tell you, when I was working, there was no such thing. $1978, really? Yeah. A bachelor, shit. The only thing Betty related to the term bachelor is if there's a poor bastard out there who ever dated her. I'm assuming he might have been a bachelor. That's the only time you'll see bachelor next to her name. Ooh, can you imagine that dating game? she's an idiot. I believe nothing she says. Prove it. She's one of these people who she just has no credibility. She has none. Not for me anyway. I don't give a shit what anybody else believes. I mean, if well, you're not listening to me if you believe her. Yeah, trust and believe Betty and I would be surprised if we even had any spillover. My peeps are not her peeps. Okay. Mine breathe through their nose for the most part, I'm sure. And I hate to do that. It's I know that it's you know what? I will use the words of this Rhodes scholar. I mean, nothing legal scholar. No, never mind. I'll use the words of Betty. I know, you're painting with a broad brush. Yeah, I'd like to. No, I'm painting with a roller. Only an idiot would paint with a broad brush. Yeah, no, I'll paint with a roller when it comes to that. Kind of like what it looks like you put, foundation on with. I do try not to just lump people together, but her people, I'm sorry. Listen, and I'm not talking about hate watchers, and I'm not talking about, the clip channels that are doing the Lord's work. But if you are just I heard somebody yesterday, this was on Jones's channel, and I do not believe this person has a channel. This is just a sub. And I do know who this person is, but I'm not going to say their name because I'm not exactly getting ready to be complimentary. But even if I was, it's, I don't do that. I'm not going to put some sub on blast. But if you are someone like that person, I think was, I believe I heard that person say that he thought Betty was, quote, smart. That was the point where I was like, oh, yep, like I hear nothing else after that point. I don't need to have any dialogue. I don't need to have any interaction with you. Full stop. Full screeching roadrunner with cloud of dust accompanying. Stop. If you I told you you'd know who it was, Nick. Yeah. Oh boy, I listened a little longer. And let's just say this. It's a good thing I was on my phone and not a full keyboard because I couldn't say much on the phone. What's Kate? Running Bear, we're going to have to revisit that because I'm not sure who that is. I listened a little bit longer only because I wanted to listen to what Johnson was saying, not because I cared about him. But that pretty much for me, I always find it interesting that people who I don't believe have channels, when they want to start telling all the rest of us who do, like the secret to YouTube. Oh boy. Yeah, oh goodness. Full stop. But I thought, well, now wait a minute. My first thought was right. Full stop. I think Betty is smart. Yeah. You are not my peeps. You are not my tribe. Nope. I am not for you. That Yep. Oh goodness. Oh, Ellie, that's funny because that's what I was like, oh boy. And I know where he came from. I think he should go back there. I was like, what in the heck? Oh, this is the weirdest place on earth. Hey, B Tim, Basement Tim, whoever you are. That, yeah, y'all are nicer than me. Let's just say that. I'm sorry. I've said many a time, I don't like stupid people. I'm not speaking to him. I'm not speaking about him. At least not solely. Yeah, I'm not a fan of what did I say yesterday? I do believe I said Pollyanna. Yeah. It's like, don't I don't know. I don't try and tell my hairdresser how to do hair. I don't tell my doctor how to be a doctor. I don't tell Betty how to be a lawyer. So yeah, I just think it's weird that somebody who knows nothing about being a creator, seemingly, I would say, my goodness, if you truly do have all the, and this just goes to anybody out there listening, well, my goodness, whether you have a channel or not, if you have all the secrets to YouTube, you should write a book. It would be a bestseller. And I think you should give the first autographed copy to Betty. Betty is an expert of things. What things? Nothings. The no things, the nothings. Well, I think, sorry, I'm just checking for updates. It's been about 2.5 hours. I feel my sciatic nerve is starting to scream at me. Okay, so here's what we're going to do moving forward. I am going to, it was funny because when I got the PDF, I got the email with the PDF of the 115 pages, I think it is. My first thought was, oh God, do we have enough paper? See, I'm old school. Well, I'm old and I'm old school. I like paper. Not a binder. Don't get it twisted. I don't need a binder, but I do like paper. So I thought, okay, I'm pretty sure I have paper. If not, my husband's got, I mean, at his office, there's reams and reams of paper. And I think, what's the printer that doesn't take, it lasts a really long time. You don't have to, you don't buy cartridges. I think you put powder. I can't, or is it vice versa? I don't know, but I could do it. I just don't know if I want to do it. If I want to, but see, I want to highlight. And for me, maybe what I'll do is I'm going to read through it first, or I'm going to try. Yes, Kia Laser. I'm going to try and read through it. I'm sure if nothing, it'll be comic relief. So that's what I'm going to do. I really don't, unlike Betty, I don't really want to speak on something that I know nothing about. Okay, 90 pages is exhibits. Y'all, I still can't get over this. I cannot get over the fact that she has put all of that in the complaint. I mean, she clearly does not understand how this works. I mean, judges do not. I mean, does she not just sit and stream trials on her channel all day, most of the day? Has she never heard a judge say, I cannot look at any evidence before it is admitted and published? Does she want a jury trial? Oh, Catherine, why in the hell would News Nation give a shit about this? In her dreams. Let me tell you something. If News Nation gets in on Betty's lawsuit, I'll join as a, let's see, what would I be? An interpleader or an interloper. I think it would be I think I'd be called an interpleader, something like that. It's been a long time. Unlike Betty, I don't play legal expert on YouTube. And I haven't looked at I myself had a black law dictionary. I mean, blacks somewhere. You know, what's funny. I was looking for something a few months ago. And I mean, when I went to college, you had to have a Black's Law Dictionary. I mean, and this was 90, it was in the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, you had to go to the bookstore on campus where they gouged you, and you had to buy hard copy books. And one of the things for the paralegal program that you had to have was a Black's Law Dictionary. Well, I schlepped that Black's Law Dictionary all over when I wasn't even I hadn't worked in years. I still kept that damn Black's Law Dictionary. Hey, hippie, how you doing? And I wanted to look something up. Oh God, it's been at least 6 months ago. And you know, when you see something in your house, some object, it's not something that you use in your daily life, but it's something like that's just on the peripheral. Like, you know, it's either in your closet, something you've got stashed in the corner, or maybe in a guest bedroom closet. You know what I'm saying? Well, in my mind's eye, I could see that damn Black's Law Dictionary. And I went where I thought it was, and it wasn't there. I looked all over the damn place, and I'm like, now, wait a minute. I went to my husband, honey, have you seen my Black's Law Dictionary? Hey, Dads Larson, how are you? That's a new name. Welcome. Her daily court costs for a trial will run her upwards of $8,000. Oh, God. Betty's peeps are not going to fund $8,000 a day. They're not going to fund $8,000, period. Oh, yeah. I agree with what I heard B. Tim say. Let me tell you something. On the remote. Hey, Chronicles of the Shady, how you doing? Or was it Cheesy Weezy? Did I see both? Run with Scissors. Did I say hello to you? I'm so sorry if I didn't. Chronicles of the Shady. That's who. How are you? When I heard B. Tim talking about sitting for 7 hours of deposition, I promise you this. I would do everything in my power to cost her the most amount of money, the most amount of time. I would insist on everything. Let's just say there would be no stipulations, except I would stipulate to, yes, that is my legal name. We stipulate to that fact, Your Honor. Anything else? Not so much. So, yeah, this is, maybe I'll do a poll. I think I might do a community post and do a poll, because I am curious to hear what other people, if they see it the way I do, as far as what's behind this and why she's doing it. Because it would be nice if if there was one live stream where I didn't have to do this, oh God, and it's the same thing every time. It's me, like the Tin Man, having to get up and like get the old spinal column oiled up so I can. Oh, no, we're getting ready to have a big storm. It looks like so. All right, everybody. But yeah, I'm gonna put a poll up because I want to see what everybody's thoughts are on this. And what's today? Is this Tuesday? Oh, glow. It is. And oh my God, for me, sitting is the major thing. Oh, B-Tim, listen, I already told Betty earlier in this live stream, be careful what you wish for because you might get it. And to me, it has been nothing but an exceedingly benevolent gift that Queen Bee has not already slapped her with a lawsuit for the true. Hey, Betty, you wretched bitch. If you want to know what real defamation is, why don't you go look at those couple live streams that you and your dumbass buddy you had on with you. Yeah, where you said some very actionable things about Queen Bee and her criminal record and the fictitious charges that are not there, that you, of course, vomited all over YouTube and told everyone are, fact, according to Betty. Bitch, that right there, you are your own best evidence of, if you want to know, because clearly you don't understand, Betty, what true defamation is. But if you want to know, you can hear it from one of the smartest people you think you know. Yes, yourself. And I truly believe that Queen Bee has had a case since Betty did that. And I when I say that it is nothing, as far as I'm concerned, it's nothing but a benevolent gift she gave her in not pursuing that. You know why? I don't speak for her, but I would imagine she's not a punk bitch like Betty is. But, that's Betty. Betty's going to take all her toys and go home. So I really hope that you're going to get, I hope you get everything that you think you want, Betty. And I don't think it's going to work out well, but let's face it, none of this, at least on Betty's part of it, this is going nowhere. It's absurd. She's absurd. And we'll just have to wait and see. But the little bit I have seen, I mean, this is just, it's riddled with, it's very problematic. Oh, beer can. Did you get an appointment? I hope so. Do you know that I know somebody? It's crazy that you say that, because I had a family member was over on Sunday, and they had a friend who was just there for a detached retina, and they managed to save the eyesight. So I hope that you're able to go there and that they can help. Helen, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's about as oh God, that whole, yeah. So are you saying that you don't think she works for like the Sinaloa cartel? Betty, you better hope not. All right, everybody, I'm going to go and I'm going to get something to eat and await my phone call. Thank you all for being patient with me for the few times I had to stop. I appreciate that. Oh, good beer can. I'm so glad. All right, everybody, have a great day. And I don't think I'll be here tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll just see how it all shakes out. But I appreciate y'all being patient with me and hope everyone has a great day. And I will see you next time. Bye.